My name is Brendan Smith. I am the Brewing Sailor, and this is another Hangover free review. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Hangover Free Reviews. I am your host, the Brewing Sailor, Brendan Smith. Whether you're living a sober lifestyle or just looking to cut back on your drinking, you've come to the right place because this is the show that helps you moderate your booze, not your brews. Just how do we do that? I'm very glad you asked. Each week, we look at a couple of NA beers and score them against the style guidelines appropriate to that beer as prescribed by the Beer Judge Certification Program. If you're interested in reading more about these style guidelines, the link to the style we use will be in the description of the video. After that, I'll take my judge's hat off and I'll let you know how I personally feel about the beer, what I like or don't like about it, and how often I would pay for this beer, if at all. On today's show, we're talking about 1820 Brewing Company's American IPA, the Wave Finder. Make sure to stick around to the end of the review as we're going to unveil a new discount code from 1820 Brewing exclusively for my viewers. Let's get into it, shall we? All right. Since we are doing an IPA today, nice little IPA glass. That's the Wave Finder IPA. It's kind of hard to see with the light, but there you go. All right. Now, with the Beer Judge Certification Program, we are using Style 21A, the American IPA. And for those of you who are watching for the first time, the Beer Judge Certification Program is the style guidelines used by major beer festivals like the Great American Beer Festival, the U.S. Open Beer Championships. These are the styles and the scoring systems that the judges use to award all of those medals. It is a 5-category system on a 50-point total, broken down thusly. You get 3 points for possible 3 points, I should say, for appearance, a possible 12 points for aroma, a possible 20 points for flavor. You can earn 5 points for mouthfeel, that is how the beer feels going across your tongue. And then finally, 10 points for the overall impression of the beer. So we're going to take a look at how this beer looks today. It's a pretty classic American IPA look. It's golden with some very, very slight amber hues to it. It's clear, but not brilliantly so. It's not like a lager. It doesn't have to have brilliant clarity. It's, and it's not so hazy that it's a hazy IPA either. It's got a nice white head, good lacing on the glass, decent persistence. So we're going to give this one 3 out of 3 on appearance because it looks just the way an American IPA should. So let's dive in and see how she smells. Yeah, it's been sitting in my fridge for a while, and that's still pretty good aroma. I'm pretty impressed. It's very citrusy, a little tropical. Just a little grainy malt sweetness, maybe a touch of caramel malt for color. And maybe just a little flavor. We'll see when we get to that point, though. Yeah, I like this. I like the aroma on this. I think I'm going to give it, we'll say 8 1/4 out of 12. So let's move on to the flavor. So once again, the hops here are dominating, as you'd expect with an American IPA. Very tropical and citrusy. The malt is there. And honestly, there's a lot of back-end hops in this beer, but to be honest, I'd like a little more front-end hop. I'd like a little bit more bittering to balance out the malt sweetness. If I had to put a knock on this, as far as flavor-wise, that would be it. An American IPA should have a rather robust bittering compared to the malt sweetness. Not so much that it overpowers it or it's a total bitter bomb, but I just like a little bit more here. That would be my one knock. but it is a very flavorful beer. I do like it. I think it could have scored a little bit higher had a little more front end, had it had a little more front end bittering. We're going to give it 15.5 out of 20. As for mouthfeel, I do like the mouthfeel on this beer. It is right where it's supposed to be. It's a medium mouthfeel beer. Now, as I discussed in my last review, if you're coming from the fully leaded craft beer world, when I say medium, take that with a grain of salt. This is medium for a non-alcoholic beer. Compare any non-alcoholic beer compared to its fully leaded counterpart is going to taste lighter. It's just the way it is. Even Guinness, it tastes remarkably similar, Guinness Zero to Guinness regular, but a little thinner. So you have to keep that in mind. But this is for an NA IPA. This is medium body. It's a medium carb beer. I mean, you can still see it's holding head very well. It is not a harsh carbonation, though. It's a very soft carbonation. It goes down smooth and easy, as it should with this style. So we're going to give it 5 out of 5 on the mouthfeel. As far as our overall impression, it's a solid representation of what a non-alcoholic American IPA should be. Is it an outstanding one? I don't think it quite gets there yet. I think the lack of front-end bittering, if it had a little more front-end bittering, I think I could have bumped it to an 8 or a 9 on the overall impression. But as it stands now, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So just to recap, we've had 3 out of 3 on appearance, 8.25 out of 12 on the aroma, 15.5 out of 20 on the flavor, 5 out of 5 on mouthfeel, and a 7 out of 10 for overall impression. This is going to give us a total score of 38.25 out of 50, which is a very respectable, very competitive score. Doesn't quite reach that 40, but as I said when I reviewed Stand Up and Stout, this is a relatively new brewery, and for them to come out with 2 beers scoring in the high 30s right away, that bodes well for their future. I look forward to seeing what they come out with, down the line. As a matter of fact, I was told, and I hope I'm not breaking any news here, but I was told that they are coming out with a Vienna Lager soon, and I'm very interested in that. Those who know me know that I love classic European beer styles, so I'm very excited to try that Vienna Lager. Moving on to my personal observations, like I said, it's going to deliver on the experience that it advertised to you. It's a solid, non-alcoholic American IPA. It's moderately bittered. I think it could use a little more, as I said. It's very hop forward in flavor and aroma. It's very easy to drink. And at the end of the day, there's something to be said for delivering on expectations rather than subverting them. This being May the 4th, and it's going to air on Revenge of the 5th. I'm looking at you, Ryan Johnson. Hey, I'm a Star Wars geek. If you haven't noticed yet, I got a 3.5 foot tall Vader sitting behind me. So, I love my beer, but I love my Star Wars too. Anyway, where does this fall on my personal scale? Like I've talked about many times, I don't do 1 star, 5 star, all that. So if it's no good, it's a drain pour. If I can't finish it, it's a drain pour. If I had it, it was all right, but yeah, I don't care if I ever have it again. That's another one. Would drink it again, given limited options. So if I'm at a bar and my choices are a Heineken Zero or that, would I choose it over a Heineken Zero? Would buy again, or regular rotation beer. Something's going to be in my fridge all the time. Well, 1820 sadly does not distribute to Texas, so I have to order it, which means I have to go out of my way to do it. I have to pay extra shipping. So this is not something that's going to be in a regular rotation. Is this something I treat myself to on occasion? Yeah, I'd put it in would buy again. This is not something that I'm going to get all the time, but yeah, every once in a while when I'm, hey, the Vienna Lager comes out, want to cut down on that shipping cost, maybe I get a 6er of the Vienna Lager, a 6 of this, 6 of Stand Up and Stout, maybe a 6 of all that Raz, so you guys can see my stupid sour face again. We'll see what happens, but I would definitely get it again. All right. So, if you're interested in buying some Wave Finder or any of the tasty beers from 1820, the link will be in the description below. And when you click on that link, use code BrewingSailor20 at checkout to get 20% off your order. That's right, BrewingSailor20 at checkout, and you'll get 20% off your order from 1820 Brewing Company. So big thank you to all the fine folks over at 1820 who are willing to do this for my listeners. That's all we have today, folks. If you like what you heard, go ahead and smash that like button. Hit that red notification button and turn it gray. Ring that notification bell so YouTube will let you know when I drop more reviews. And please do share this review across all your social medias. And of course, if you have a comment, please leave one before you go. Let me know, did I do a good job, a bad job? Have you tried this beer? And if so, what did you think of it? If you have a beer that you love or loathe and you want to see me review it, or you just want to see my stupid sour face again, drop me a suggestion. Either in the comments below or at any of my social media accounts. Thank you for watching, everyone, and we will see you back next Tuesday when we review the Hellraiser Dark Amber from Well-Being. It's launchy, y'all.